We welcome you all to this edition of The Beat, coming to you from 12th Man Studios. I'm Will Johnson. We begin today with our head basketball coach, Billy Kennedy. He and his Aggies are complete in the regular season. Now they're off to the SEC tournament in Nashville. They will begin play there on Thursday. And, Coach, we certainly appreciate the time here today. Bill, and you think about your team this year. 20 wins, very good in the regular season, but the close of it was difficult. 3 of the last 4 have resulted in defeat. But you've been impressed with the mental makeup of your team for a lot of the year, and I wouldn't think that would bother them a whole lot heading into Nashville.
Well, we've been fortunate not to have injuries all year, and in the last week we've had 3 things come up. Peyton Allen on Monday thought he had an emergency appendectomy, so he was in the hospital, didn't travel with us to Florida. Daniel House hurts his foot at the game in Florida, the last 5 minutes of the game. Didn't play against Alabama. And Alex Caruso gets strep throat the morning we get back, and probably shouldn't have played, but practiced a little bit Friday and gave us his best on Saturday. And you got to finish strong. We've got to have some guys step up, and I think our guys will bounce back. They've been resilient all year.
You mentioned Daniel House injured against Alabama over the weekend, or didn't play that game as a result of injury, but are you going to go to Nashville still kind of wondering about his availability?
Yeah, we're hoping by the grace of God, that he'll be ready to go. I think it's a long shot. It's day to day. He hurt his foot pretty good at Florida the last 5 minutes of the game, but it's getting better. He got treatment yesterday, and we'll see what happens.
You'll await a Thursday game in which you're trying to find out a Wednesday night matchup, Auburn and Mississippi State. That's who you'll get. No coach really says, I prefer this one or that one. Now, you do have wins over these teams, but what's your take on the 2 possible first opponents in Nashville?
Well, we had a difficult time against Mississippi State here. They're playing extremely well. They're a veteran team. Gavin Ware gives us problems in the post. We held him to 3 points the last time we played him, but he's had 20 points against Courtney and against our defense in the past. So we've got to do a good job on him. And in Auburn, they've been banged up. The Mason kid not playing, he'll play, he'll be back and be 100%. And so they just lost a tough game that they had won pretty much, against Georgia. So there is no easy game. Tournament plays, new season for everybody. You'll get everybody's best shot. Hopefully we'll give them our best shot.
Yeah, you never look past that opening game, but I do want to ask you about the side of the bracket you're on. There's a potential third matchup with LSU. Kentucky's out there on this side, and you guys played what was an epic game with them here at Reed Arena in January. Your just thoughts on your layout in this bracket?
Well, it starts with the first game. You got to win the first one. And LSU, we've been fortunate to beat them twice. They're coming off a great win against Arkansas. They lose to Tennessee at home, and turn around and win. And they're a very talented team. We'll have to play extremely well. It'd be a great opportunity to play in that game.
And finally, do you allow yourself to think about this? Now, a postseason bid awaits Texas A&M after the SEC tournament in some form or fashion. Do you let yourself and your mind go to, well, if we do this, that postseason is NCAA? Or do you just try to get focused on Thursday night?
Well, we got to get better. With not having Daniel and possibly not having him in the tournament, our team has got to get better. We need to focus on trying to get better. I think we've regressed in the last week, and this is not the time you want to do that. And then reality is reality. We've got to win, I think, 2 games, and that gives us the best chance. 1 game may give us a chance. But, our thing right now is to focus on trying to get better. And we've got 20 wins. We've improved our season. We've got a great group of nucleus guys coming back with a good recruiting class. So things are going the right direction. Now we got to finish strong at the end of the season.
Yeah, it's been a good regular season. Now it's off to that new season, as you put it, the SEC tournament, and on into the national ones, the NCAA, NIT. Something awaits the Aggies after this. But thanks for the time and all the best to get this new season started in Nashville, Tennessee.
Thank you.
That's Billy Kennedy right here on The Beat. Texas A&M off to the SEC tournament. The Beat is presented by AT&T, building you a better network. Texas A&M softball and baseball off to excellent starts in 2015, and each had quality competition that they faced this past weekend. Softball opened SEC play against 9th-ranked Kentucky. Baseball was down at the home of the Astros for the Houston College Classic. As this report will show you, both continued to sparkle on the diamond. Softball ranked 20th in the country, entering the set with Kentucky, who was in the Women's College World Series last year. Friday night was close throughout and set the tone for the weekend.
Got her way out in front of that one. And second strikeout of the game for Fox. Get out of this one. Swing and a miss. Swing and a miss, strike 3. As Fox, huge strikeout there. That's number 7 in the ball game. This ball's hit well to right field. It's going to leave the park. Walk-off home run. April Ryan, and the Aggies win it.
We as hitters, we were struggling a little bit at the beginning, and the whole mentality was to attack early, and I didn't. So that at bat, I wanted to swing as hard as I could at the early strikes, and I think it paid off.
After the heroics, the Aggies were right back at the Wildcats on Saturday.
The ball is going to, it's going to kick off the glove of the shortstop, but it'll serve the same purpose as a hit up the middle. RBI single, Callie Lamphere to tie the game. Clopton's going to flip that one over first base into fair territory. It's going to score. Kristen Koyas Clopton to second base on the throw. And a little jam shot single by the senior. Dozier fists that one. Is it going to drop? It does. Into left field. It gets by the sliding Hines and rolls near the warning track. The Aggies are going to try to score 3. They will. Dozier will take third on the play. It is a bases clearing double, and Texas A&M leads it 6-2.
We came out swinging today in first through the 7th inning, hitting the ball hard, putting it in play, making the defense make plays. Overall, just a great performance by the entire squad.
On Sunday, Kentucky salvaged a win with a narrow defeat of the Aggies, but Texas A&M with a terrific start to SEC play, taking the series versus UK. Baseball at Minute Maid Park went against a quality field trying to stay undefeated. Friday afternoon versus Nebraska. Game tied at 1 in the 8th. J.B. Moss deep to left field. It gives the Aggies a 2-1 advantage. That held up over the final inning. A&M wins.
The home run was the furthest thing from my mind. He happened to elevate a fastball, and I was just able to put a good swing on it. The emotions of a 9-inning baseball game at this level, they're so up and down, and whether you're down 2, you're up 2, you're up 10, you're down 10, you just try to stay even kill. With these new balls, anything can happen. We just try to look at it as just another win in the scorebook. It was a fun game, it was an exciting game. This venue is awesome, but we just try to come to the ballpark every day, just approaching it as the next day, a next step in our journey, and we were able to come out with a victory today.
Saturday against the Houston Cougars, Grayson Long was magnificent. He threw 7 shutout innings while striking out a career-high 10 hitters. Only 3 Cougars reached base on him. Aggies win 6-0.
Couldn't be more proud of Grayson. That's as good a performance as I've seen him have during his career at Texas A&M when we needed it most. In a big-time environment here in Minute Maid Park against a really good Houston team, and he was fantastic.
Sunday, the finale against Baylor. More good pitching. Matt Kent the start in 7+ innings with 9 Ks. A&M held a 3-2 lead in the 9th. That's where Ryan Hendricks entered and shut the door, earning his 4th save of the season. The Aggies go 3-0 in the Houston College Classic and were proclaimed the champions of the event. Grayson Long was the Classic's most outstanding player and was named the SEC's Pitcher of the Week for his stellar outing versus Houston. The Aggies traveled back home still perfect and looking at this week, which included the start of SEC play. This segment of The Beat is brought to you by Bud Light, the perfect beer when you're up for whatever. In 2014, only 2 freshmen were named to the All-SEC baseball team. One of them was Logan Shore, a pitcher for Florida. The other is right here in our studio at this moment. A sophomore now in 2015, Nick Banks, Aggie outfielder, joins us on this edition of The Beat. And Nick, thanks so much for the time
Thanks
today.
for having me.
No problem. Let's get right to it. Let's begin before this season, because you had quite an experience this summer. You played with the USA Baseball Collegiate National Team. That's an honor that you and A.J. Minter, an Aggie pitcher, also got. And Rob Childress was an assistant coach on that team. Can you describe the experience you had this summer with the USA Baseball Collegiate National Team?
It was an amazing experience to be around coaches at that level and just great kids, as well as players. I mean, it's hard to put in words how it is to be around people like that, and I mean, they make you grow as a baseball player and a person. So I mean, it was a real fun experience, and I think it helped me mature a lot as a player and a man. And
you began this season on a 13-game hit streak. What were the keys, like I say, to a hot start that you've gotten off to in 15?
Yeah, and just like Gary Dimbo helped me with, Coach Bolts preached that to me all the time this year, as well as all the other players on our team. You got to stay within your approach, and you have to go up to that approach every time you step up to the plate. And I mean, that's what I've been doing, and I've just been fortunate enough to find a hit in every game. So
you guys talk a lot about approach on this team, and A&M coming out of last week led the nation in home runs as a team, but that's really not part of the approach. You guys aren't trying to hit the long ball every time you go up there.
No, I mean, like I said, we just look to drive the ball in the opposite field gap, and I mean, when you barrel balls up, you're going to create backspin, and with the new balls right now, I mean, if you can create backspin, they're going to fly out of the ballpark, especially with the south wind at Olson.
And then this team, the hot start for the group, it's caught people's attention in College Station, in Texas, and throughout the nation in the collegiate game. What is it you enjoy most about this 2015 Aggie squad?
Just our chemistry. I've never been a part of a team that's been this close together. Everyone gets along. Everyone pushes everyone to be better, be a better teammate. I mean, we're relentless. We never get down on each other. Like everyone, if someone's having a bad day, someone's picking you up. I mean, just the chemistry that we have this year, you can tell a difference, and it makes a difference, and it shows on our record.
Now, a lot of the talk has been about the offense, rightfully so. Mentioned you guys are at the top of the nation in home runs. Team batting average is very good. But switch it over to the other side. Through fall ball and preseason camp, who was the toughest Aggie pitcher maybe for you guys to face? Because there's so many that are capable of throwing well each time out.
I'd honestly have to say I face Simons a lot, and as a lefty, Simons is hard to stay on. He has the natural sink, and he has a good slider and good change. I mean, for him, he was the hardest for me to hit off of during the fall.
That's interesting. You go with Kyle Simons.
Yeah.
A.J. Minter, your Friday night starter. I think of closers like Mark Ecker and Ryan Hendricks, and any reliever's been fantastic. But you choose the junior college transfer in Kyle Simons, huh?
Yeah, well, during the fall, we were split up in the team, so most of those guys that you picked were on my team, so I didn't really get to face them as much. So the guy that I faced the most, probably, that gave me difficulty was Simons. But, I mean, he's a great pitcher, and he's going to help us out a lot this year.
Well, you guys will take all of this into Southeastern Conference play this weekend as we get a visit from the Auburn Tigers. Does SEC play have a different feel to it for you and this team?
Oh, yeah. I mean, SEC play, the just atmosphere around the stadium is just way more up. I mean, conference is what matters. Like, we want to win conference outright. We want to go to the SEC tournament and win that thing, be a top 4 seed. So, I mean, yeah, it does have a big feel, but, I mean, you still got to take it like any other game and just take it one game at a time.
All right. Well, we thank you for the time, Nick. Good luck this weekend against the Auburn Tigers.
Thank you.
That series will begin on Friday out at Olson Field at Bluebell Park. That's Nick Banks right here on The Beat. Welcome back to this edition of The Beat. Spring ball is well underway for Kevin Sumlin and his team, and to start last weekend, they hosted recruits and their families to a special practice here on the A&M campus. It was Friday Night Lights, and these are the highlights.
Let's go.
Future stars stepped into the brightness of the McFerrin Indoor Center as the Aggies lit into each other and scrimmaged for the first time this spring. The defense started fast. Freshman and early enrollee Richard Moore with the INT of quarterback Kyle Allen on the first snap of the ball. One possession later, newcomer Justin Evans a fumble recovery. Evans is another early enrollee coming in from Mississippi Gulf Coast Community College. But the offense won't be held down for long. Brandon Williams first jaunts for a long run, then B. Will on a screen with a burst to the house. Taylor Bertolette with Josh Lambeau gone. He'll get a good look on the field goal tries. This one good from 54. Would have made it from 60 plus. Defensive back Armani Watts, no stranger to the pass breakup as a freshman, denies this attempt in the end zone. But Connor McQueen at quarterback finds Jamal Jeffries across the goal line. That's 6. Sam Miller, perhaps starting to make a name for himself, lowers the boom on Jeremy Tabuyo. Then it's Kyle Allen moving out of the pocket and tossing into the end zone. Touchdown to Sabian Holmes. Connor McQueen with the legs finds pay dirt. The offense is fired up, but the defense with the strong close. Deshaun Hall gets into the backfield. So does Josh Walker for a sack. Noel Ellis closed everything out with an INT.
Good job, man. Good. That's the way to finish. That's the way to finish. Good job.
Today, we close the beat on a sad note. Monday morning, shortly after midnight, Billy Pickard, Texas A&M class of 1956, passed away. After his graduation from this university, he became a decades-long loyal employee of Aggie Athletics. And during this time, we send out our thoughts and prayers to he and his family. At his passing, Billy Pickard, or the man they simply called Pick, was 81.